Jay Delsing spent 25 years on the PGA Tour and is a lifetime member of the PGA Tour and PGA of America. Now he provides his unique perspective as a golfer and network broadcaster. It's time to go on the range with Jay Delsing.
On the Range is brought to you by the Gateway section of the PGA.
Hey, good morning. This is Golf with Jay Delsing. I'm your host, Jay, and that's right. There's no Pearly this week. Yeah, this is going to be fun. Pearly is driving around, flying around. He's in a boat somewhere.
Living the good life on a jet somewhere.
Absolutely. He's like, I don't think I get cell service where I am. I'm like, I don't care.
Listening to David Bodie.
All right, so we're we format the show like Around the Golf, and the first segment is the On the Range segment. It's brought to you by the Gateway PGA. I just want to thank the Gateway PGA for being involved in the show. There's so many people in the city and the outskirts, this whole region, that are part of the PGA and the Gateway PGA, and they do so much to help our golf experience improve and run tournaments for us, give lessons, the whole thing. So we appreciate it. We're really going to miss out on our social media update. Yeah, I mean, the show's going to go right to hell because that's not on here. But we do want to thank Bob and Kathy Donahue at 314-805-2132. They are doing really phenomenal stuff for the inside part of your home, for the outside of your home, any place, anywhere. Give these people a call. They're like family, and they do a great job. All right, so the show today, I have got an interview with the CEO of a place called Gateway Studios Production Services. This guy's name is Trey Kerr. He is a great guy. I've known he and his family for a long time. Wait till you see what they're building in Chesterfield. They're spending over $110 million. They just had groundbreaking ceremonies on Thursday. The governor was here. They are basically bringing this massive music playground to Chesterfield. There's going to be a hotel. Yeah, it's going to be just across from the Spirits Airport.
It's a destination point.
Oh, my God, there's no question. And what they're doing is they're creating this. There's this one stage in this one area where bands can come and rehearse for their tours, for touring, because the way music has kind of changed in a sense where you don't make your money through recording anymore. You make it through touring. Right. And so think about these massive shows that you just saw Luke Combs. You said it was badass.
It was amazing, yeah.
Yeah, but you don't just slap that together and it all comes. You have the lighting and all of the
timing of everything, yeah.
Yeah, so they've got one area out there that's going to be as big as a football field for bands to come out and rehearse and practice. And it's I think it's on 33 acres. Anyway, it's really cool interview, and I can't wait for this to come to the St. Louis area.
Chesterfield is blowing up so much in that area already. You've got Top Golf. I know they just opened a concert venue, the Factory, out there, and you've got the mall, all the shops and everything. But I wonder at this point, if you get something like this, if this is a starting point for a lot of tours. If this is a thing where you kind of come in, get primed, to do the finishing touches or whatever, and then bam, St. Louis first show.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you? I mean, that's one of the things. We're giving away a little bit of the interview, but who cares? That's one of the things that we're talking about, where these guys are going to, I've gotten to become friends with one of the band members of Dirks' group, and they come in their 7 or 8 trucks. When U2 came and did their worldwide tour in the U.S., they had over 100 18-wheelers and the stages. And so when you think about the size, the money, the number of people, you're talking about hundreds and hundreds of people. It's just fantastic. And Trey loves the game of golf, and he told a funny story about how he kind of broke into this. Anyway, so it's it is what it is. It's really funny. We've got this thing. I got to ask you. So, and the listeners, we've got the match number 5 coming up, and I'm kind of thinking I'm going to have a huge dead ass on this one. Brooks versus Bryson.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the only thing that I'm kind of interested in is Phil Mickelson's going to be in the booth. He's going to be in with Charles. He's going to be in with Brian Anderson, who was on the show not long ago. And I don't know what to think. And you never know what Lefty's going to say, but Bryson and Brooks just doesn't – it never interested me. And from your chair, what do you see there?
Yeah, from a player's perspective, you know what they've both accomplished, and the rivalry is what stands out the most. But I don't know in that setting if you're going to get what you want from the rivalry. I don't know how much of the smack talk you're going to get and the hatred, because I think that they're going to put a face on at some point because of the cameras. I don't think we're going to get what we want on that end.
I think, and the Q rating and all this stuff, which the tour created this thing. $40 million in this pot. Well, we know who's going to be number one in there.
Right.
I mean, Tiger has to poke his head out his window, and he's going to have more attention than anybody else.
Yeah. Multiple guys combined.
Yeah, so Tiger's going to get the lion's share of this thing. But I did some research, and you cruise on down the list. The 10th place payout's $500,000. And then the ninth, what? And so it's what it really turns out to be is this thing was volleyed around early in the year and people were interested. It was all for this. I mean, Bryson is kind of a one-man walking media show anyway, just because of the way he's chosen to go about it. And I still think from a golf geek standpoint, that's interesting. But these guys, worked it out at the Ryder Cup, and this thing's over. I haven't heard one kind of barb fly back and forth, and TNT's kind of on the hook here. I don't know. We'll see what they can do to kind of spruce this thing up.
Do you think the TV angle with Charles and Phil? You said you weren't sure really how Phil would approach that, but do you think that they kind of try to stoke the fire a little bit?
I think they're going to have to. But the one thing that's cool, this thing isn't going to be that 4, 5, 6 hour long drama like we saw up in Montana and some of the others. They're only going to play 12 holes. They're playing in Vegas. So it's not like this is going to be this wild, beautiful, scenic, like we're going to see bears, running off into the distance and stuff. But anyway, it is golf on TV. It'll. I think it's going to air right around Thanksgiving, but I'm not real. I think it's on Black Friday, so it might be a Black Friday for golf too. I'm not sure. But, that's going to wrap up the On the Range segment. I want to do the tip of the cap, and the tip of the cap is brought to you, my buddy Colin Burnt, his team over at the Dean team of Kirkwood, 314-966-0303. My tip of the cap goes to the sports fans of St. Louis. When I look back and I think about the support that the PGA Championship got in 2018, the way that they support the Cardinals, and listening to this most recent 2030 announcement about the President's Cup and knowing how the city is going to support that event. And then we're dragging a lot of old stuff up about the Rams because this lawsuit is coming to a head and the NFL is going to get its ass handed to it, justifiably so. And I heard those numbers. I think Randy on Carricker and Smallman talked about the support. 85 or 88% of our dome was full during the worst 6 years in the history of the NFL as a team, and that goes to the sports fans. And then I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about how well they turned out at the Ascension Charity Classic this past September. It just rocketed the Ascension Charity Classic up the list for the PGA Tour. So I want to thank all of the sports fans at St. Louis. I love living here and love being kind of in the mix in that as a fan myself. And that tip of the cap was brought to you by my buddy Colin Burnt at the Dean team of Kirkwood. 314-966-0303. You can call Colin over there. You can call Brandy. They'll take good care of you. Don't go anywhere. We've got our interview with Trey Kerr on the front nine. This is Golf with Jay Delsing.
This is Paul Azinger, and you're listening to Golf with Jay Delsing.
I want to thank the Gateway section of the PGA of America for supporting the Golf with Jay Delsing show. There are over 300 men and women PGA professionals in over 100 golf facilities in the greater St. Louis area supporting us. They're experts in the game. They know the business of golf. And at this point in time, this pandemic, the golf courses are jammed. These folks are working 10, 12-hour days and just doing great stuff, and really appreciate them. Every time you pull up to a public course or a private course, a driving range, there's a really good chance by that facility is run by a member of our section. Some of the examples of the programs that are run by these PGA professionals and the Gateway PGA section include PGA Reach, Drive, Chip and Putt, PGA Hope, and the PGA Junior League. To learn more about the Gateway PGA, go to gatewaypga.org. To find a local PGA professional coach for your next session, go to PGA.com. The PGA, growing this game we love.
Marcone Appliance Parts Company needs to recognize the sponsors, staff, and volunteers who made the inaugural Ascension Charity Classic in St. Louis a huge success. Without the tireless effort of hundreds of dedicated people this past year, this PGA Champions Tour event could not have achieved the success it did. The winner in golf is the person with the lowest score. But the big winner of this event is the people and communities of need in the St. Louis area and the tremendous boost to the St. Louis economy as a whole. Well played by everyone who put in the time to make this a wonderful event. It's great to live in your community. Marcone Appliance Parts Company is based in St. Louis, Missouri, and is the largest distributor of major appliance parts in North America and a proud distributor of General Electric parts.
I am delighted to welcome Marie Davila to the Golf with Jay Delsing show. I'm sure you know where it is, but in case you don't, Marie Davila is a landmark out in West St. Louis County. It's located on the corner of Clayton and Weidman Roads. It's also on 21 beautiful rolling acres right on the way out to Queenie Park. It's a country club-like atmosphere. It's iconic, and it's absolutely gorgeous. When my dad died, and my mom decided she didn't want to live alone, Marie Davila was the first place we called. When we pulled up, we were greeted at the front door by the owner. He took us around on a tour of the facility. We learned that there are 1, 2, and 3 bedroom villas that you can live in, and there's also 24-hour care in the East, West, and the Waterford buildings. So Marie Davila had everything that my mom wanted. One of the things that stood out in my mind as well was the way the family-owned business treats their guests. That's right, they refer to them as guests, but they treat them like family. So if you're in the process of trying to make a tough decision for this next part of life, you got to visit Marie Davila. This is local, this is family, and this is St. Louis. This is Marie Davila. Come be our guest.
Thank you, St. Louis, for making the first annual Ascension Charity Classic presented by Emerson a record-breaking success. The golf was incredible, your enthusiasm unmatched, and the only thing that will last longer than the memories is the impact you've made on North St. Louis County charities. To our sponsors, volunteers, and fans, thank you for welcoming golf's greatest legends and bringing professional golf back to St. Louis with record attendance. See you next year at the Ascension Charity Classic.
I want to give a shout out to my friend Colin Burnt over at the Dean team of Kirkwood. Folks, if you're looking for any sort of vehicle, I know it says Volkswagen of Kirkwood. Colin has a parking lot full of new and used cars. I was just over there the other day. I bought a used VW Passat for my daughter, Jo, who just totaled it in an accident. She texted me, by the way, and said, Dad, I tapped a car in front of me. She tapped it so well that the car's totaled. Anyway, I talked to Colin, and he is working out a new vehicle for us. But we went over and looked. There is a huge selection of cars over there. My buddy Pearlie that does the show with me had bought a used Toyota truck from Colin and just loved the service and loved the vehicle. 314-966-0303. This is like dealing with family over there. These are great people. Colin's there. His right-hand person, Brandy, is there to do anything they can to get you in the vehicle you want. Give them a call today. Hi, Jay Delsing here for SSM Health Physical Therapy. Our golf program has the same screening techniques and technology as the pros on the PGA Tour use. That's right. SSM Health Physical Therapy has TPI, Titleist Performance Institute, trained physical therapists that can perform the TPI screen on you, as well as use the K-Vest 3D motion capture system. It is awesome. Proper posture and alignment can help you keep it right down the middle. There's 80 locations in the St. Louis area. Call them at 800-518-1626 or visit them on the web at ssmphysicaltherapy.com. Your therapy, our passion.
One thing I've learned over the years is that many people don't realize that standard insurance policies
aren't robust enough to handle their accomplished lifestyles. Ensuring your personal success adequately, that's serious business. At Powers Insurance, they don't believe in treating clients like policyholders. They treat them like friends and family. Tim Davis at Powers Insurance can offer more than a policy. He has the knowledge and experience to properly protect your busy lifestyle. Call Tim Davis at Powers Insurance today, 314-333-4913, or find them online. Visit their website at powersinsurance.com.
Hey, I know you've heard a lot about club fitting, but I need you to go visit my friends at Pro-Am Golf. They're a family-owned and operated golf discount shop in St. Louis that's been operating for over 40 years. They have a top quality fitter in CJ over there and a very qualified staff with the most up-to-date, state-of-the-art technology in the industry at all. They've got a really cool ball program coming that will help you fit your swing speed to the right ball. But most importantly, they have the lowest prices in town on this fitting. And you know what's really special? They take the price of the fitting and roll it into the new clubs that you purchase over there. So basically, the fitting costs you nothing. Visit Tom DeGrand. He's been in the business for over 40 years and a great guy. And they'll watch you hit balls in their simulator. So stop by and ask for the Delsing discount, and they'll give you even more money off their already low price. That's Pro-Am Golf, a family-owned business here in St. Louis.
Grab your clubs. We're headed to the front nine on Golf with Jay Delsing.
The Front Nine is brought to you by the Ascension Charity Classic.
Hey, sorry. Hey, welcome back. This is Golf with Jay Delsing. I'm Jay. Pearlie's not here. This is perfect day. We are going to the front nine that is brought to you by the Ascension Charity Classic. $800,000. We say it all the time in our inaugural year, just rocking us right up the charts and the Champions PGA Tour standings on charitable money raised, and just wait to see what we do in year two. I can't wait. All right, so I've got this interview with the CEO of the Gateway Studios Production Services, Trey Kerr. It's just broke ground in Chesterfield Valley this past Thursday. Let's just jump right into that interview.
Maybe. Yes, sir!
One of the greatest displays of courageous golf that anybody has ever seen any place.
Trey Kerr is brought to you by Golden Tee.
Trey, thanks for joining me this morning.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Jay. Pleasure to be here.
Oh, my gosh. We ran into one another this summer. We were talking about this great new project you guys have going on out in the Chesterfield area, and I can't wait for you guys to get going. It's going to be a boom for the region. First of all, let's just let the listeners know a little bit about what you guys have going at Gateway, and then there's some great stories with some of your management, I know.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Gateway Studios and Production Services is based here in St. Louis, and what we do is we are a full-service audio lighting, video rigging provider for major touring acts, musical acts that go out on tour and play the large stadiums and arenas that are so often shared with a lot of sports franchises out there. You know, St. Louis, we got the Blues and the former home of the Rams that a lot of concerts go on in those types of places. So when you go to those shows and see all of the big moving lights and big LED walls and other things of that nature, and the sound system that you're listening to and whatnot, so we provide all of that to major touring acts, as well as the guys that go out on the road and do that, also known as roadies.
Love it.
So a big part of that, that's something we already do, and a big part of the thing that we're adding here is the studios, and we're building a 32-acre, 330,000 square foot campus out in the Chesterfield Valley area. That we will be erecting large rehearsal studio spaces, as well as a couple other little things in that area. You know, the largest one is 300 by 175. It's the size of an NFL football field. And it has a ceiling height of, we call it the grid. That's where we hang all of the show from, but 80 feet tall. We just broke ground Thursday and in the Valley, and we're really looking forward to that project. And it'll be a state-of-the-art facility. There's a few of these out there in the world, but none of this size or nature. And once we have that up and running, which we hope to be up and running in the first half of 2023, we will be a world-class tour rehearsal facility for large touring acts that they can utilize before going out on the road.
Trey, you guys, I can't imagine how many employees. I know you guys already have a big presence in St. Louis, but this is taking it to the next level. And you're going to be so close to the Spirit of St. Louis Airport. I know you're building a hotel on this campus. This is going to be nothing like this region's ever seen, is it?
No. It's something that exists. It's not something that St. Louis has seen before, or this area region has seen before, and there's a lot that goes to that. But for us, the idea of doing this in Chesterfield was in the Valley out there was we thought the location was second to none. We are. You could drive maybe not you, Jay, but some of the big guys out on tour like Kepka, those guys. But you could drive a ball from our land to the airport, hit the runway, and that's how close we are to the private airfield, which is a huge piece for us. It's location, and that for us is a big part of it, where we have the private airfield there. And then the Valley itself with all the amenities and all the other places around in the Valley that artists can come in, and they're not 10 miles from the nearest store. There's restaurants, there's, shopping, there's, when you go out with these tours, before you go on tour, you have a lot of needs that you need, and you're in these facilities for 6-8 weeks, prepping, building, teching, rehearsing these shows before they go out on the road, and there's a lot of stuff you need for that. So we in our industry we have runners, and I'm sure they have that in the sports world too, but the runners, you can send the runners out and they can get just about anything that you would possibly need in the Valley there, and be back doing something else for you instead of spending all day looking for, D batteries that are 30 miles away or whatnot. So, the Valley has a lot to offer, and it's prime real estate in terms of what we're doing here. And having the hotel there is huge, and having many hotels in the Valley is a big thing, because, with all the studios that we do have on this campus, it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people that need to be housed, and it's going to benefit the entire Valley. It's going to benefit the entire region, for that matter.
Oh, no question about it. Trey, when we traveled on tour, we didn't exactly travel together, but we kind of did, because everybody might have been on one or two flights from this city to the next, and it was just kind of almost like a disconnected band of gypsies, so to speak, where we would be hanging out and things like that. And talk a little bit about your experience with some of the great musical bands and some of the great people that you've been out on the road with, and what's that like on the road?
Well, before I jump into that, I got to tell you, you guys in the PGA are doing it wrong. You guys all need Prevost tour buses, just like we use in rock and roll. And, you get like 4 of your best guy friends in there, and you can, whatever, you go from one city to the next while you're out on the tour doing your thing, and that's the way to roll. But no, I've been in the music industry for about 20 years now, and I was very fortunate on how I got in, and I started in the industry when I was 18, working for a band, Fish, which is still, it's the band you've never heard of, but you've heard of. They're one of the biggest acts in our industry. But anyway, I've been fortunate enough to work for them. I still work for them. They're the only people that I will still go out and tour with. But I've been very fortunate enough to work with a lot of great acts. And, other than Fish, I've done Grateful Dead, Maroon 5, Florida Georgia Line, Drake, Thomas Rhett, Vampire Weekend, Green Sky Bluegrass, My Morning Jacket, a lot of different festivals, Bonnaroo Music Festival, Outside Lands, a lot of the, Governor's Ball in New York. I've worked, I've had a very, very fortunate career. And for me, it's been, I learned how to do everything in this industry. That's how I was, I guess how I became somewhat well-rounded. But so I've gone out as, tour manager, stage manager, backline tech. But really what I fell into was video and that's where I fell in and really went from being a professional roadie to a professional in the business. So, it's been a great 20 years, and hopefully there's 20 more and 20 more after that. But, been very fortunate, worked for a lot of great artists, worked for some bad ones too. But it's a different world that we live in, and everybody kind of thinks that they show up to a concert and it's just there, and the artist, all the stuff's already there, and the artist shows up, plays a show, and goes on to the next thing. But it takes a lot. There's a lot of people that contribute to putting those shows on, from truck drivers to bus drivers to video guys, audio guys, lighting guys, electrical guys, carpenters. I mean, the list goes on and on. Production people, So, when you go to your show out at Riverport, can we still call it that?
I think it's, we're close. I think it's called Hollywood Amphitheater, I think, or Hollywood Casino Amphitheater or something. But we're good. I know exactly what you're talking about, bud.
It will forever be known as Riverport.
Absolutely.
And no one's going to change that. So, anyway, you go to the show out at Riverport, you go see your favorite artist out there, and for every one guy on stage, one artist on stage, there's probably 100 people behind him that help put that show on. And, that's the business that we're in. So, we excel in doing 360 production for those artists. So, and that leads into one thing I want to say, Jay, which is, we talk about the people that it takes to put these shows on. Well, that's the need for these facilities out in Chesterfield this campus that we're building, where a major touring act, they go out on the road and they want their first show of the tour to be just as good as the last show of the tour. And, they're doing 100 shows on the tour. They got to hit the ground running. And the only way to do that is to check it and prep it and rehearse it and have the show dialed in before they even do the first show of the tour. So, that's what these facilities really represent. So we already provide the production and the roadies. Now we are able to offer, a facility that these artists can come in and stay in St. Louis for, 4, 6, 8 weeks and prep and build and rehearse and then hit the ground running. And, we hope it brings more artists to St. Louis, more artists to the state of Missouri, playing more shows here. I grew up in St. Louis, and I moved back here about 10 years ago with my wife. And, St. Louis is, I left and I came back, and I love St. Louis, and it was important that we did it here. But the music industry's kind of pulled away from St. Louis, and we're wanting to do our part to bring the music industry back this way, pull a little bit of it back to the region. And I feel like a lot's gone to Nashville, it's gone to Denver. In some retrospects, it's even gone to Kansas City, and St. Louis has lost out on some of that. And we're trying to do whatever we can to do whatever we can to our part and bringing St. Louis back to glory. And I really feel like this is going to be a big part of that.
All right, so that's going to wrap up the first half of that interview and the front nine. But don't go anywhere. We got more of that interview on the back nine. This is Golf with Jay Delsing.
Hi, this is Peter Jacobson, and you're listening to Golf with Jay Delsing.
Everyone is looking for the extra edge, and Jay Delsing is digging deep to find it. It's the Leading Edge on Golf with Jay Delsing.
I am sitting down this morning with my buddy Tim Davis with the Powers Insurance Agency. Tim, thanks for joining me today on the Leading Edge.
Hey, Jay, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so tell us just a little bit about the Powers Insurance Agency. I know it's a family-owned business here in town.
Yeah, we are. So I'm the Director of Operations here for Powers Insurance, and we're a family-owned independent insurance agency here in St. Louis. We really specialize in writing robust insurance policies for people with affluent lifestyles. So I'm sure you're going to ask kind of what does that mean, Jay? And we try and think of going outside of the box for our insurance policies. When you see commercial advertising on TV and radio, the focus seems to be a lot more on just buy the cheapest price and get the best policy you can get off the shelf. Our focus is quite the opposite. We want to make sure that our clients are fully covered and have the right claims experience so that when there is a time for a loss, the coverage is there. Kind of my worst nightmare, my biggest fear is to have a client that calls me up with a claim or a loss, and we have to tell them that's not covered because they didn't have the right policy in place. So that's a quick overview of what our focus is here at Powers Insurance on both the commercial and personal line side.
Yeah, and you guys are located right here in town, but you have the ability to write policies and cover people's needs in almost every state, don't you?
Correct. We're in 46 states. I think we just got our Hawaii license actually today, so I think we're in 47 states. And able to write and help our clients no matter where they might have a home or secondary home or where they live or work.
Yeah, it's really cool. You and I became friends because of golf. You have a strong golf background, and I know you have a little bit of journalism background as well. But talk to us a little bit about how you guys can differentiate your products from most other insurance agencies.
Yeah, I'll bring my sports journalism career up here as part of it, Jay. So, as you and I know, I started as a sports writer, sports journalist, was also in the golf industry a little bit before I got into insurance. But really from that journalism background is where I learned and we learned as a group how to focus on asking the right questions. So when I got into the insurance industry, I really learned how robust policies captured my attention, and writing policies where I'm really helping get the exact type of coverage in place for somebody that they need. That has always gathered my interest. Just because the process and asking those right questions is something I've become really good at, and I think the company is really good at. We talked about claims and horror stories that we hear. I hear a lot of those stories from people that tell me a story about some sort of awful claim, and they always finish it by saying, of course, our insurance didn't cover. I hope if anybody takes anything away, they can understand that standard insurance policies may not be designed to handle those types of claims, but there is insurance coverage out there that can provide coverage for most of those situations. A really good example in the golf industry that we've had, I had a client that left their wedding ring in the golf cart. So $20,000 wedding ring, left in the golf cart, lost on the golf course. their insurance policy only paid $2,500 for that ring because they didn't have a separate policy for their jewelry. That's one of those examples where just a separate policy for your jewelry insurance, keep it away from your homeowner's coverage, makes a really big difference in making sure that you have the right kind of claim and the right payout when there is a claim. Well, we also had a client that had I'm sorry, Jake, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say from a personal level, my partner and I opened Wild Crush, and we had become friends before that. But, you came to me and said, I think I can save you money on your insurance, and we had a wide gamut of coverage, and you saved us almost 50%.
Yeah, it was a perfect storm for Wild Crush, Jay. It was a great setup. We've got a perfect carrier that's going to provide fantastic coverage for you, and they were aggressive with their pricing, so we were able to save you money and get great coverage. That's a win-win in my book.
Yeah, well, we so appreciate it, and I mean, and finding those little niche areas in people's lives. That's kind of what you guys specialize in, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I know me, I know you. We all work hard for what we've accomplished in life, and the main thing with insurance is to make sure you're properly protecting what you've accomplished and what you've built in your life. And our goal is to try and help explore and make sure that we understand what those risks are and make sure that you're properly covered.
Well, this is Tim Davis for the Powers Insurance Agency, and this has been our Leading Edge segment on Golf with Jay Delsing. Tim, thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me on, Jay. I appreciate it.
We're halfway there. It's time for the Back Nine on Golf with Jay Delsing.
The Back Nine is brought to you by Pro-Am Golf.
Hey, welcome back. This is Golf with Jay Delsing. I'm your host, Jay. Mead is here with me, taking great care of me in the ESPN studios. And we are going to the Back Nine. The Back Nine is brought to you by Pro-Am Golf Centers. If you need, folks, first of all, not if, you need to get fitted. You need to have your clubs fit your body shape and your body type. And you got to give CJ a call and set up an appointment. He used to be over at Family Golf Centers. He is one of the most knowledgeable guys in the city, if not the most knowledgeable. And he will help you out and he will take care of you. And he and I are working on that right now as we speak. So give him a call, 314-647-8054 and set up an appointment, or you can go to proamgolfusa.com and check them out. But you got to get fitted. Ask about the Delsing discount, and they will hook you up. All right, let's go right back to the second half of our Trey Kerr interview.
Arnold Palmer is the Masters champion of 1960.
There it is, a win for the ages.
Oh, Jack. That was a great putt. There's Jack finishing off, and what a day it's been for him. A round of 65.
Trey Kerr is brought to you by Golden Tee.
Trey, to bring something like this to this area had to be, so much. You had to put so much time and energy into the works. St. Louis has been. We had the PGA Championship, the 100th anniversary of the PGA Championship in 2018, and we just announced
that was pretty awesome, right?
Oh my gosh, it was just fantastic. I know how much you love the game. I know how you love to play the game. I know our history goes all the way back to Norwood days and our dads and some really cool family stuff. But when you look at what you guys are doing, I mean, you're spending $111 million. At least it's projected, and you know how those bids are. They usually go up and up, but projected to bring something like this to the community, it's just an amazing thing, and you don't really think about the need to do all the practicing and the rehearsals and the light shows and how big a piece those are to the music shows.
It's it goes back to people don't even realize the amount of work that it takes just to put that show on that you go and actually see. And this is just an extension of that. This is the amount of time and energy and money and resources that these artists put into their shows before they go out on the road it's just staggering. And they do that though because they want, that is an extension of themselves. They want you to go to their show. If that's your artist, you go to that show. They want you to remember that forever. They want, like I said, these artists, they make their money from touring now, and they want the bang for your buck, and they want to make their shows as big and as memorable as possible. And any artist can just show up on an empty stage with 4 lights and a PA and play a thing and take your money and go home. And there's some that do that, but for the most part, these artists want to put on a show that you're never going to forget. And, that takes time and energy. And, these facilities it's very much, it's the biggest thing to happen to St. Louis that you're not even going to know exists. Other than if you're driving down Interstate 64, Highway 40, as we like to call it here in St. Louis. And, look out the side of your car and window and see these massive studios. But ultimately, it's I think though the reason is where everyone will see the benefit of this is it's going to be extremely beneficial for the economy here in St. Louis. It's going to help out in great ways there, from hotels to restaurants to shopping to other things that go on. This is hundreds of people that you have coming into town, for weeks upon weeks upon weeks at a time. And then the big thing too is that this is going to bring a lot of cool concerts, a lot of cool shows to the St. Louis area. And, if you're an artist, and, pick your favorite artist. But if you're, if you Dirk Bentley, right? If you're going to start your summer tour, if you're doing your rehearsals and everything else in St. Louis, why not start your tour in St. Louis? So, that's a cool feather in the cap, and people here in town are going to benefit from having a lot of cool shows come through. I think, in our industry, we look at it as an A market, a B market, a C market. And, we've kind of fallen down that list as far as St. Louis goes. And I really think that this is going to put us back up into that B plus market, A market, so that's going to be great for the town. So,
oh, no question about it. And Trey, I got to play golf with Tico Torres, who was the drummer for
nice
Bon Jovi, I think. And and we had this thing called Fairway to Heaven out on tour where we got to play. I got to play golf with Steven Stills, and we were out playing in Vegas, and on a par 3 on the front and a par 3 on the back, they had a bunch of instruments on the tee, and Steven Stills got up on the 15th tee. It's actually a short par 4 at the TPC Summerlin, and he played Love the One You're With. When I'm standing there with my driver on, and waiting for the green to clear so we can go ahead and hit, and I'm like, what just happened? It was so cool to mix this thing up. It was called Fairway to Heaven, and VH1 was the sponsor. And then when we went around on the front nine, he played Southern Cross, and I'm like, I cannot believe I was just, able to witness that. And I've had Vince Gill on the show, and we just love music, and I just wish you all the best. Is there any sort of really cool, fun stories that are shareable for our audience that we can kind of close up with?
Well, there's always the fun, cool stories. It's just whether or not they're radio friendly.
Yeah, that's right. We're not cable, are we?
I'll tell you one. I do want to say something, because we were talking about this the other day, Jay, which is it's incredible how many cool artists and people you meet, with the game of golf, and just going out and playing some really cool courses, and even just getting paired up and just on a whim, things like that, where you get to play golf with some cool people. But what we were talking about the other day is athletes want to be musicians, and musicians want to be athletes. And I've got a lot of dear friends that are, that are athletes that I've met just on that alone, because they are all about the music and they want to trade places all the time. And I'm sure that, you have had the privilege and honor of playing golf with a lot of cool people. So I appreciate you sharing that story. That's very cool. But anyway, I mean, in terms of a fun story that I think, I've got one for you that people tend to like with me and how I got started in this industry. So when I was 18 and graduated high school here in town from CBC, but anyway, after I graduated, I jumped in the car and ran out on tour and went on fish tour and was selling T-shirts in the parking lot, and the Fish's head of security caught me, and I'm censoring this story, by the way.
I'm sure. I know. Thank you.
But Fish's head of security caught me, and he was a big guy. 5'5". He was short but huge. I mean, like probably 5'8" and 400 pounds. Big guy, loved to death. But now he essentially finally got me in outside the amphitheater in Indianapolis, Deer Creek Amphitheater at the time is what it was called, and he put me in handcuffs and on the side of the parking lot and said he was so happy he finally got me, and because he'd been trying to catch me selling these shirts for show after show after show, and he said, you're done. I'm taking you to jail. I'm taking all your shirts. I never, that's it. And I said, no. You can't. I've been giving my profits to the band's nonprofit group, which is the Water Wheel Foundation, which was true. And he goes, "Oh, you're full of it." And I said, no. So he got on the radio and called the guy that ran the foundation for the band, and Maddie. And Maddie ran outside and pulled John aside and talked to him. John comes over and stands me up and takes the cuffs off, and he goes, "It's your lucky day. You're going to give me all your shirts, and I'm never going to see you again." And I looked at him and I said, "Well, what do I get?" And it was the longest pause in my entire life. And he said some expletives, expletive, beep, beep, the things I can't say on the radio, to me, and told me I had cojones, to paraphrase. And he said, "What do you want, kid?" And I said, "Front row, dead center. I want to see sound check, and I want backstage passes." And he said, "Fine, I'll throw in tickets for the rest of the tour." So that is how I got started in the industry, which is a very unusual way. But so I met him at the next show, gave him my shirts, met him backstage, gave him my shirt, or the backstage gate, gave him the rest of my shirts, and he brought me in, and he goes, "Here's Water Wheel. You're going to volunteer for him at tonight's show, and I'll come back." And he came back and grabbed me. He brought me. I watched sound check. I watched the show from front row, dead center, and I went back at set break and after the show to volunteer at the band's nonprofit table. And then he came back after the show and gave me 2 backstage passes, and I met the lead singer and blah, 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 and all this stuff. So that, the nonprofit group was just like, this is great and whatnot. Anytime you want to do this again, you let us know. So I eventually ended up running the nonprofit group for the band with the guy that, saved me that day, Maddie, years later. And essentially that's how I got into the industry. And, when I was 18, I want to be a roadie when I grow up. My brother's a doctor now. That's what he wanted to be. He hates me now because I've been very successful, and he went to school for 20,000 years. So,
right.
Yeah. Wait, how did you, so anyway,
yeah.
But it's one of those stories of just, it's a cool story of just like how you can get into this industry in so many different ways and facets. And, once I had my foot in the door, so to speak, I watched what everyone else did and learned every single craft. And so I would always have work. And, I've been very fortunate in my career and where it's led, but that's where it all started right there. So that's a good one for you that I pulled out. So
oh my gosh, Trey, thank you so much for this time. Thanks for bringing this cool, really cool new business to the area, the economic impact and the what it's going to interject into our economy, the opportunities it's going to be for the community, the citizens to go watch some of these shows and to see some of these bands, some that we've never even heard of yet, man. I can't wait. It's really great. I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me, Jay. It's been an absolute pleasure, and long-time listener, first-time guest. So thanks for that.
All right, that's going to wrap up the back nine. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to break down this interview on the 19th hole. This is Golf with Jay Delsing.
Hi, this is Bob Costas, and you're listening to Golf with Jay Delsing.
Our Gateway Spotlight this week, my friends at the Gateway section of the PGA. And a special shout out to Dan Politis. He got the 2020 Pro of the Year. Well-deserved. Dan, congratulations on that. And I want to thank the Gateway section for supporting the show. There's so many of you. There's too many to name, but I want to thank you for what you do. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep growing this great game.
Marcone Appliance Parts Company needs to recognize the sponsors, staff, and volunteers who made the inaugural Ascension Charity Classic in St. Louis a huge success. Without the tireless effort of hundreds of dedicated people this past year, this PGA Champions Tour event could not have achieved the success it did. The winner in golf is the person with the lowest score. But the big winner of this event is the people and communities of need in the St. Louis area and the tremendous boost to the St. Louis economy as a whole. Well played by everyone who put in the time to make this a wonderful event. It's great to live in your community. Marcone Appliance Parts Company is based in St. Louis, Missouri, and is the largest distributor of major appliance parts in North America and a proud distributor of General Electric parts.
Hey guys, I know you've heard golf is booming, and it really is. There are more people playing golf today than ever before. And you know who else is doing great? My friends at Whitmore Country Club. I don't know if you know about their membership, but if you join at Whitmore Country Club, there's 90 holes. They give you access to the Links of Dardenne, the Golf Club of Wentzville, and the Missouri Bluffs. And the cart fees are included in the membership, so you're not going to get dinged for a cart fee. There's no food or beverage minimums, no assessments, no nothing. Just great golf, great places to eat. They have a large pool complex, 3 tennis courts. They've got a kids club. You can drop your children off. You and your significant other, your wife, can go out, play a little golf. You can call them at 636-926-9622. And when you go over there, poke your head in the golf shop and say hi to my friend Bummer. He is terrific. He wants to help you with your game, and he'll show you around.
Thank you, St. Louis, for making the first annual Ascension Charity Classic presented by Emerson a record-breaking success. The golf was incredible, your enthusiasm unmatched, and the only thing that will last longer than the memories is the impact you've made on North St. Louis County charities. To our sponsors, volunteers, and fans, thank you for welcoming golf's greatest legends and bringing professional golf back to St. Louis with record attendance. See you next year at the Ascension Charity Classic.
Hey, Jay Delsing here for SSM Health Physical Therapy. Do you want to have a more consistent golf swing? Hell, I know I sure do. SSM Health Physical Therapy's golf program has Titleist Performance Institute certified physical therapists trained to assess your movement patterns, your mobility, and your stability to help make your golf swing more efficient and repeatable. They can help your golf game. There's 80 locations in the St. Louis area. 800-518-1626 or visit them on the web at ssmphysicaltherapy.com. Tell them Jay sent you for special pricing. Your therapy, our passion.
This is Bill DeWitt III, president of the St. Louis Cardinals, and you're talking to Jay Delsing. And wait, sorry, what's the name of the show?
Golf with Jay Delsing.
Oh, okay, let me start it.
I am with my buddy Joe Sheezer from USA Mortgage.
Hi, Jay. How are you?
Doing great, Joe. Thanks so much for the support of the show.
I really appreciate the opportunity. Congratulations. This is your third year, and we're really proud to be a sponsor all 3 years since the very beginning. It's a great show, and we look forward to it every Sunday morning.
Well, thanks a bunch. Tell us just a little bit about USA Mortgage and what you can do for people.
Well, USA Mortgage is a ESOP. It's an employee-owned company, so over 1,000 families here in St. Louis work for the company. So if you want an opportunity to patronize a local company, please call USA Mortgage 314-628-2015, and I'll be more than happy to sit down with you, go over your options, discuss all the different programs that are available, and give you an opportunity to support a local company.
If you have a car and you're struggling to get some protection for that car, let me recommend Vehicle Assurance. 1-866-341-9255 is their number. They have been in business for over 10 years and have a 30-day money-back guarantee, which is one of the reasons why they have over 1 million satisfied customers. They are known for their painless claims process and their premium vehicle protection. So whatever that car looks like, they can help you. You can find them at vehicleassurance.com or call them again at 866-341-9255 for a free quote. Get the protection and the peace of mind you deserve.
Grab your friends, a cold one, and pull up a chair. We're on to the 19th hole on golf with Jay Delsing.
The 19th hole is refreshed by Michelob Ultra.
Hey, welcome back. This is Golf with Jay Delsing. I'm your host, Jay, and we are headed straight to the 19th hole that is brought to you by Michelob Ultra. Man, let's pop a little Ultra, and let's talk a little bit about my interview with Trey Kerr. Man, I am so excited. I'm a music lover. I am so horribly ungifted. I shouldn't even be allowed to listen. It's brutal. I suck at singing, although I like to sing, like in the car and things like that, and drive everybody crazy. But I'm so excited for what this is going to do to the region. And what's interesting when you start thinking about golf, and you're like, dude, why did you have this on your golf show? First of all, this is about community. Golf is all about community. Golf is about raising money. Golf is about that is what golf does. This is going to raise the water level in the community. It's going to bring I don't know how many hundreds of jobs. It's going to bring opportunities for musicians. Some young kid is going to see a show and go, I want to do that.
I can do that.
I'm going to do that and go home and pick up a harmonica or pick up a guitar, and that's the way it works for golf, and that's the way it works in other sports, and that's what's happening in the community. And I'm just excited as hell. The other thing you got to remember. So let's pick a group. Pick a big group that may come to town and do a show. Someone like
the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, I love the Peppers. So those guys are going to be here. They're going to bring their group.
That is a show.
That is a show. It is nutty. You never know what might
lights and
pop
everything.
out of there.
It's
Yeah,
insane.
there's all sorts of craziness happening on the stage. But those guys don't travel, by themselves. There's entourages they bring, and I guarantee you folks are going to be breaking off and going to the golf course.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee you can only do your design gig for so long. It's like when the back when the All-Star game came to St. Louis for the Cardinals. I talked to Bill DeWitt, and he said, yeah, we got to get we need golf for people.
Right.
And of course we do. When the first, now it's the Worldwide Raceway, Worldwide Technologies Raceway, but when it was Gateway before, and they were bringing in these races, we had all of these uber wealthy, uber, cool athletic people coming into town, and you can't spend all of your time doing your design thing, and golf is the perfect medicine for that, man, and it just always is.
Even MJ would play 2 rounds of golf before a game back in the day. Like, everybody's playing it. It's your escape at that point.
It absolutely is, and it's so good for your mental health. But also, when you start thinking about MJ, What sort of energy source did this dude have? I mean, he never took a playoff. He never took a night off. He played both ends of the court. He played 36 holes in the morning, smoked 5 cigars before, and then went out and lit it up for 5. I mean, who does that?
And was hustling the locker room guy the whole time.
Exactly. And then he was like pitching quarters. The guy's the most competitive dude I've ever seen, and his energy just, I mean, non-stop.
It's insanity.
No, it's just crazy. So that's the reason I brought this interview to the show. I really am excited about what this is going to do for the show. The golf season's kind of winding down. Our weather's kind of dodgy. We still get a few good days here and there, but it still doesn't mean that the stuff that we do and the monies that we've raised and all the work and time that we put in while the sun was shining doesn't still, pay off. So that's what that looks like. Man, that's another show in the books. We didn't miss Pearlie, but maybe we need to kind of